Hi everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio, and I've got 3 plank variations for you today to cure your boredom, because a lot of times people get into thinking about building core strength, and the plank is the first thing that they think about because they've heard that crunches are bad for them, which isn't 100% true, but the plank is the first thing that people tend to jump into, and they try to build their skills in it. And that's great because you do need a lot of core strength, and core is anything from your ribs to hips, front, back, and side, so it goes all the way around. So really your plank does help that. But whenever you can hold that plank for more than 2 minutes, you're getting to a point where there's not really much point in doing it. So instead, we start to vary what we're doing to provide the body more benefit, more challenge, and kind of create more of a sense of change within the body. So I've got Jesse here today who's going to be stepping in to help me demo with everything. And we're going to go over just the basic plank form first. So I'll have him go into a high plank on his hands and toes. Remember that if you need to modify, you can drop down onto your knees at any point. So as we come into this plank on our hands and toes here, what he's going to do is he's going to pretend, without moving his hands or feet, like he's going to squish up the floor beneath him. He's going to pull the hands and feet towards each other without actually moving. And what this is doing is engaging the core. We're going to make sure that we have a nice flat back, that our lower back is not sagging down, and that our shoulders, they're not pinching together, and we're not really rounding to push the floor away. So if we were to modify this, Jesse, go ahead and take it down onto your knees. So we would take it into a knee plank. We would be on our knees here, but we still don't want to be in that box position, so we want to lean forward so that the hips are level with the body, so knees, hips, shoulders go in one smooth line rather than being in more of a box-like shape. We're still making sure the shoulders are level, we're making sure the back's not sagging down, that our stomach is engaged tight. And as we're engaging the stomach, it's like we're coughing or sneezing, so we're actually pulling our ribs into our hips. Okay, so for our plank variations today, you can go ahead and rest. We're going to use a slick surface, and that's really the best way. If you have carpet at home, you could use paper plates. You just have to make sure that you kind of guide your foot to where it needs to be. And if you've got a smooth floor but not quite smooth enough for socks to slide on, you could use dish towels and things like that. So we're going to be using the Jesse's socks today for this. So we're going to take it into that high plank again. This one's not really one that we can modify. So if you're needing to do a knee plank, we probably need to build up to the full plank first. Jesse might be scoot forward just a little bit. There we go. Got to make sure we can see all of you. All right, so as we're holding here, what we're going to do is take this into a snow angel. That means we're going to open and close the feet. So we'll go ahead and open and close. Good. And then we're going to take one leg into a hip extension. So one leg raises up. Place it back down, open, close, and then lift the other leg up. So we're alternating which leg extends each time. By doing this, we're working outer hips, inner hips, and we're working the posterior chain through the glutes and the low back, which is really a great addition to our plank. So our core is engaged tight. Our body's now multitasking as it's working through this. We do want to make sure that as we're going out and in with that snow angel, that the heels are not popping out and in, but rather the feet moving together on top of each other. Go ahead and rest. All right, so that's variation 1. So definitely one to build up to. If you're in that high plank, you can hold it, you feel great in it. That's a way to vary it up, kind of make it a little bit better. All right, so for this next one, we are going to use some discs. We're going to put them on our hands. Now remember that anytime we use a disc, whether it's on our hands or our feet, we need to make sure we have a break of some sort. So Jesse's actually going to put the top part of his hand on the disc and leave some of the heel of his hand on the floor so that he's got room to have a break. That's going to help him to stop and not just continue sliding, okay? If you want to make it more of a challenge, you put the whole hand on there and you keep that pressure to keep that plank holding in. So let's go ahead and take it back into our plank again. Good, and this time I'm going to have you back up a little bit so we can see where your arms go. Sorry about that. All right, so we're right here. And this time we're just going to hold the plank with our feet. We've got our nice strong high plank here, and we're going to keep weight in one hand, and we're going to take the other arm, slide it forward. So we're just going to push, we're going to maintain our plank position, and then we're going to bring it right back in. So as we go out, we're going to keep the hips level, we're going to keep the abs lifted, the back lifted, and we're just reaching as far as we can with this position. So if you drop the hips, you've gone too far. So we continue to alternate back and forth. Now Jesse's got a little extra challenge here because he's got his socks on still on the slick floor, so he's having to really engage to pull in, which is great. If you want to add that challenge, that's a good thing. Just promise that you won't fall on your nose, okay? So we'll go ahead and rest out of that one. And we've got one more great plank variation for you today, and it involves no sliding. It's actually a 3-position plank. So this one takes a little bit of strength. Depending on how comfortable you are with your wrists and your knuckles, you may want some extra padding under there. But we're going to take it right back into that high plank one more time. And in our high plank here, we're going to take it through 3 positions. So we're going to start here on the hands. We're going to go ahead and raise up onto the knuckles. So one hand at a time. And then we're going to put it right back on the hands. Lower down to the forearms. And then right back up on the hands. So we go hands, knuckles, hands, and forearms. The goal through this movement is to try and rotate as little as possible through the torso. So we're trying not to shift side to side as much, but rather maintain a flat core, a really strong and engaged core throughout. And you're going to feel that strength. Now, as you're lifting up and you're bending down, try to bend the elbow to do that. A lot of people move through that shoulder joint or through the scapula to do that, and we're going to try to bend the elbow to get there. So after Jesse gets back up one more time, we'll call that good. So go ahead and rest. Thanks so much. So hope that gives you a few options for variation on your planks to help keep some boredom at bay. So if that's something that you are interested in, is finding more variety to your workout and being able to get more success from what you're doing while doing things that you're already good at, but improving them just a little bit, we'd love to help you. Feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. That is what we do. We're a group of personal trainers at a private personal training studio, and we customize everything to your needs, from exercise to nutrition to lifestyle modifications. So if there's something that you are dying to know the answer to, need some better help on form, anything like that, feel free to leave it in the comments below. We'd love to answer that question on our Facebook Live. And otherwise, feel free to share this with your friends. I hope you got something good out of today, and we'll see you soon.